But I guess, let's try to get into
we kind of are.
The topic just for people to know officially is who settles more, men or women?
Yeah.
Who do you think?
Who do I think settles more?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's women who settle more. But it's hard because they also have higher standards. So their settling ends up being, because, I'm trying to think like, what do guys settle for? They don't really know what they don't really think of it as settling. Like guys aren't like, all right, I'm just going to.
But they do in the sense that I feel like a lot of guys are like the grass is greener. Like maybe there's a better woman out there.
Yeah.
And you don't think it's the same as settling? Because I agree with you. When women settle, I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
I'm everywhere. But I think it's pretty even, actually.
Okay.
I think it's pretty evenly split. Because women settle, I think, because they want a family. Their biological clock is ticking.
Right.
This guy's close enough.
Okay.
I think that's why women settle.
Right.
I think men settle because they're like, well, maybe there's a hotter woman or maybe there's a better woman out there, but this woman loves me, so I can't let her down. And so he stays with a woman. Like,
but that's not
rarely,
settling. That's not settling. That's just a smart choice.
If you think that there's better out there,
well,
because you're not, if you as a man, and this is why women tell other women that your husband needs to love you more than you love him. And I don't believe in that because me and you, I feel like we're on an equal playing field.
Right.
But there's a reason why. Because if a man does feel like he can do better or there's better out there and he potentially missed out on it, he will not treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. And he might love you,
right?
But he ends up being the type of guy like we talked about in the last episode where he'll date you for 8 years, but he's not in a hurry to get married.
Right.
He loves you.
Yeah.
But you're not the one for him. Like, if he wanted to, he
quick.
would.
Yeah,
there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
like,
it'll be quick.
And so any man, I think,
right,
who doesn't prove that if he wanted to, he would to the woman he's with, he's settling.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
So that is how I think men settle. And I think they do that. I think it is pretty even. I think women settle for the reason that I said it. And then I think men settle for the reason that I just said it. Because it's true. Because how many stories do you hear where women are like dating some guy and she's like, all I wanted him to do was like be romantic and show me he loved me. And then she finds out by lurking his Instagram or something that he's immediately in another relationship and he proposed to the woman within like a few months. If he wanted to, he would. He saw that woman as the perfect woman for him, even if she's not perfect. Or that he couldn't find better, or he was happy with who she was and fully content. And that is a man not settling.
Yeah. It could also be a mark of personal growth as well, though, because a person has figured out.
He grows into it.
Yeah, but
I think that would still not be settling. But I think I would find it hard to believe that a man went into a relationship and he was like, oh, well, there's probably other people out there, and like genuinely was thinking about other women that he could be with, turning it around. I still think he'd be settling if he went in initially thinking that. Because it's kind of like, if your relationship is not very great when you first meet in the first few months, it's not going to get better. You might learn to tolerate each other. You might learn to whatever, suppress emotions and stuff, but it's not getting better.
Yeah, I would agree for the most part. I mean, I think maybe in some arranged marriages it can.
I think they just learn to deal with the situation.
I think you can learn to love the person.
You can learn to love.
Because, I mean, ultimately what it comes down to is that
you can learn to love like familial love.
Well,
not in deep love.
I mean,
because that's if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, but ultimately what it comes down to is that you're dealing with a human being, and true love is loving that person for exactly who they are, faults in everything. And if you don't do that, you are never going to really get it. And, you can put all these requirements of what a person needs to be and all these things, but at the end of the day, there's still going to be a human with flaws.
Right.
And if you can't see through that stuff and love a person through that, then settling or not, it's beyond. It doesn't matter.
But we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, we are.
We're saying the same thing because a man who really loves the woman isn't thinking about other women.
Right.
What is the thing that you've been set on for like months? It's that song. When a man loves a woman, she can do no wrong.
Right. Yeah.
That's what you just said. That flaws, whatever, you don't care, you love the person.
Right.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
But a man who's thinking about another woman or like there's probably better options out there does not feel that way about the woman. He would not feel those things.
Right.
And he's not going to say that to the woman he's with.
And
if he does, then he's an asshole. But
well, and they do sometimes. But
they do.
Sometimes though, it's not the person, it's you, right? It's like you have to learn how to love purely because it's not like, okay, if you're that guy and you're thinking about other women, if you're you're not happy, you're thinking there's better options out there and you get a better option, you're still going to be in the same boat because ultimately you're still going to have to love that person. So part of it is maybe that's not the right person for you, but like also part of it is like you have to learn how to love unconditionally, how to do it. Because if you don't learn that part, no one is ever going to meet your standards. You're going to settle because
I agree.
You like the difference I think between settling and not settling doesn't have as much to do with the person that you settle or not settle with, but you and your ability to love unconditionally.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. I think the thing to add to that though, and I want to say that nobody's responsible for anybody else's like emotions or things like that.
Right.
But like, especially with you and I, you made me want to be a better person without doing anything, without telling me, without forcing me.
Right.
And I think that also goes into it though as well. Like I think that if someone is good for you, you'll feel it in that way where you want to be better as well. Like before you came along, I worked on myself. I wasn't perfect, but I worked on myself. Before I came along to you, you worked on yourself.
Right.
And together we've like continued to work on ourselves and work on our relationship. So I do think, though, you're right that you have to be in the right mindset and you have to learn valuable lessons. But at the same time, I think for the right person, it'll be easier. It'll click and it'll be more natural, like in that sense. But I get what you're saying that, if you're not elevated in your mindset and how you focus on relationships and things like that, it is easier to settle because you just don't even understand the concept fully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've talked a lot. Like
better than perfect, we stand.